So Nina, you just got your first UFC win. How good was that?
It was a long time coming. I'm very happy that it ended the way it did too, like with the finish. I had a bad luck for the past 2 years, but I know where I stand, and I'm glad I took that first step to get to where I know I belong.
Was it sweeter because it was a finish, because you were coming off of 2 close decision losses, and you had that need that you really needed to win?
All my losses have come on very close decisions, and almost all my wins except for one have come by a finish. So I know how it works. Finishes work for me, decisions don't. So I can't leave it in the judges anymore, and every fight I'm going to be looking for the finish.
It was late in the third round. Were you confident that we're going to get the finish, or were you afraid that you might go the distance once again?
I knew I was going to get the finish. Actually, I knew it a couple minutes into the first round. But I wanted to take my time. I wanted to feel the ring. I wanted to be comfortable in there. So I got used to my surroundings. It was going to be either on the feet or on the ground, but I wanted to make sure that I was comfortable where I was, and the time was going to come, and I was going to finish.
Did you feel any kind of pressure because of the moments that Amanda was going through, being the champion and all that, and you kind of in a rough patch in the UFC, or was it the opposite? Because Amanda was such in a great moments that gave you more confidence and more motivation to go there and win?
It was a little bit of both. I never really feel too much pressure to win a fight or perform. The only thing I hope for is no injuries and that I perform the way I know I can. What Amanda does, it does have a great influence on my life. We are together, we live together, we train together. So it did help a lot seeing her and realizing this is what I want to do. It just reminded me a little more that I was ready to go in there and take the same steps.
It was a long layoff, almost a year since your last fight. Do you hope to finally keep constant, keep more active now in the UFC, fighting more often?
Yeah, it was a year since my last fight, and before that was another year. So, I got sick, and I was having problems with my liver and cutting weight. So, I took some time off to fix that. I got back, I felt I had a strong fight, felt the judges got it wrong, and then I tear my knee. So it was kind of like, I can't let it end like this, I was waiting to get back. As soon as I was done with my fight, I was already asking Sean, I'm ready for another one.
Do you have any timetable of knowing when you will be back?
I wanted the end of May. I took this time to do this little tour with Amanda. We both were packed. Even though I didn't fight the past year, I was there behind her. 2016 was a huge year for her, and I was more involved with helping her get to where she was. And then my fight came right after that, and it was time for both of us to just relax, take a little vacation, come here, see her family, do some things that we needed to do at home, and now we're ready to get back to it. I'm ready for 3 fights this year.
Is there someone that you would like to face in the UFC?
I don't have anyone specifically that I want to face, but I do want someone ranked.
You said that you're targeting May. Do you want to fight in a different date than Amanda?
It's either I want to fight on the same date as Amanda or a month apart. The 2 weeks apart was a little bit chaotic, especially because the fight with Ronda was so huge. It was hard to get back on the saddle and get me ready to leave 7 days after that to go for my fight. So it's either I want them a good distance apart or the same day.
Did the UFC already told her anything about her future, her next fight, maybe the dates or?
She hasn't really spoke to them about it yet. They know she wanted a little time off. She had a lot of fights last year, and they were all pretty high level fights. So they haven't mentioned it. When she's ready and comes back from vacation, that's what we're going to start talking about.
Speaking of plans, I've seen Amanda Nunes talk about it a few times already. That you have plans of maybe having a baby in the future. What is your plan right now about this?
I wanted to see what was going to happen in this last fight. I want to fight 2 more times before that happens. If it gets me closer to a title shot, of course I'm going to wait. I'm going to do that. Even if I win, but I'm still not close to a title shot, I think I'm going to take the time off, have a baby, and come back.
Maybe next year or something like that, or you're not just in a hurry to do that?
I'm thinking the beginning of next year, but you know what? I can't, if it goes, it goes. It all depends on how my career goes this next year.
How big would it be to become UFC champion next to Amanda? The first couple in the UFC to win champion.
I think it would be great, and I think it's very possible. I know where I stand in my division, and she knows where I stand, and she pushes me, and she wants me to be there with her, and I know I'm ready to be there. So if the time comes and I'm given the opportunity, I feel like you'll see 2 belts in our house.
And do you think the fact that she's a champion helps your case now? Because the UFC has this nice story of you too.
I'm hoping so. You know, I think if I get 2 really good finishes, you know, that fight would sell. You know, everyone wants to see it. You know, I think we do great together, and I think it would be great to see something like that for everyone. You know, so I'm hoping for it.